The last episode of the Grand Tour was aired on the 13th. This is a big deal for me. I am sad. I am sad on Civil, and I'd like to talk to you for a moment about being sad on Civil. So first of all, question, are there any fans here other than me? And I don't really care because I'm going to talk about it anyway. Are there any fans here other than me of Top Gear and the Grand Tour? Hopefully the answer is yes, because otherwise it's just going to be me talking for a while. So yeah. Anyways, for those of you unfamiliar with Top Gear and the Grand Tour, it is ostensibly a car show that features Richard Hammond, James May, and Jeremy Clarkson. Okay? And involves this trio. And they've been doing it now for 22 years between the two programs. They were on Top Gear together for 19 years. And then Jeremy Clarkson punched a producer in the face over not getting a hot dinner. And then he was fired. And then the trio, including I think potentially that same producer, incidentally, I think left and went to Amazon and have been hosting the show over there for a couple years. And it is something I've been watching for, I think, the entire time. I'm not quite exactly sure when I got into Top Gear, but it was very, very early days. Like season 3 or, series 3, they would call it, because they're British. They don't call them seasons, they call them series. So since series 3 or something like that, and I've seen every episode. I've even seen series 1 with Jason Dawes. So I know about the Dawes. Don't come at me. I know my lore, right? I've been watching Top Gear and Grand Tour for 20 years. And I am sad panda. This show has come to an end. And I feel like I need a goddamn therapy group to talk to it about. I need a whole group of people I can talk to about it and come to terms of go through my grieving process of it being over, because it was awesome and I miss him. And they are still doing other things. Jeremy Clarkson is doing his farm show, which is great. So he's now a farmer, and that's fun and hilarious. Richard Hammond has a show where he does some stuff on a car thing, but that's on Discovery Plus, which I don't have access to. And James May is doing some other stuff, including a cooking thing, which was on Amazon Prime, which is pretty hilarious. I miss it. I watched every episode of it multiple times. I'd like to go through a few of my favorite segments with you from Top Gear and the Grand Tour. A few of the ones that I like the best. All right, one of the ones I like the best, and probably not one that would get mentioned as a favorite for many, was when Jeremy Clarkson raced a guy named David Muir over the London Marathon course on an average day in London. Jeremy Clarkson was driving a Fiat Panda 4x4, and he raced a guy. So it was man versus car. Who can get to the end of it faster? And the only conceit of it was it's an average day in London, so the course isn't set separately. And the guy won. The guy got there faster. The traffic and congestion was so bad that the guy beat him, which is just hilarious. So that race was a great one. Another one I really liked was, of course, the 24-hour race. Was fantastic when they were driving that diesel BMW at Silverstone, I believe it was. And that was a really cool race. I like that one. And there's just there are a lot of other great memories. My favorite special is, that's where you're going to get into debates with people. I'll tell you this right now. The last one was not my favorite. It was fine, but it definitely wasn't my favorite. I would prefer the original Botswana special. I think my favorite might be Bolivia, with the 4x4s going through the jungle. It might be my favorite special. But there are so many great ones. It's kind of hard to have a favorite. I mean, most people would probably say the Polar special is their favorite, which, the Polar special is fantastic. The Vietnam special was also very nice and special with the bikes. That was really cool. But I think the Bolivia special might be my favorite. I will now take your discussion about which Top Gear or Amazon Prime you like best. The Scandi flick is fine. Yeah, Scandi is fine. I need to see some of the specials again, but yeah. And it was ostensibly a car show, but it was mostly about the trio. It was about the chemistry between the three was unreal. And we may never see its like again. And the chemistry between those three was just so unreal. And I will miss it horribly. I'll miss it horribly. Yeah, the U.S. road trip after Katrina, painting the cars. Yeah, that was a really early special. That was earlier than Botswana, I think, with the U.S. road cars and getting the cars for $1,000. Or the cheap car challenge. Anyone remember when they bought cars for under 100 pounds? And they had challenges with that, which I didn't even know was possible. And I don't know if that's still possible in the UK today. But they were each of them able to buy cars in the UK for under 100 pounds. And like drive them to Scotland and back and then have competitions with them. And Jeremy, his Volvo cost £1. And it was like a real car with wheels and an engine and everything. And he bought it apparently for £1. I didn't even know that kind of thing was possible, but apparently it's possible, or at least it was at the time. Reliant Robin rocket, that was great. Yeah, we're going to turn the Reliant. What I need from you is to design the most difficult kind of rocket, a space shuttle. And then the two engineers just look at each other, right? The two engineers who actually like know what they're talking about. Like the one engineer turns to the other guy and the other guy just turns to him and they give each other a look. And so much is communicated in that look. It is unreal. It is unreal. And then, of course, when they fire Jeremy Clarkson, they tried to reboot Top Gear with different people. The only person worthy of the name is Sabine Schmidt, of course, who died of cancer tragically, which is just unfair. She was the best. She was the best presenter, and I'm so glad they brought her on to Top Gear after the trio left, and they tried to reboot it and they brought Sabine on for a couple seasons until she basically died. But she was the best, the queen of the Nürburgring. Her race around the Nürburgring in a van is the thing of legends, right? It's like she is the thing of legends. She took a diesel van around a Nürburgring and tried to make a 10-minute lap time, which is just fucking insane. And she did 10:08. She couldn't make 10 minutes, but she did 10:08. And it was just like unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm sad, very sad she's dead. And that sucks, man. But yeah, the Sabine Schmidt was the best of the replacement presenters. Destroying the pickup truck, that was a great little segment. Yeah, destroying the pickup truck, fantastic one. We're gonna drop it from a tower block in Hackney, East London. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, the Hilux, which is why they chose the Hilux for their Arctic trip, because it was so unbeatable, unkillable. Yeah, the attempted killing of the pickup truck is very, very real. It did survive. It absolutely did survive. It 100% survived. They were not able to kill it. Yeah, they threw it into the sea. They hit it with a wrecking ball. They set it on fire. They dropped it from a 23-story building, and the damn car didn't die. It just wouldn't die, no matter what they did to it. It wouldn't die. It's great. It just kept running. It's awesome. Yeah, you can't buy a Hilux in the U.S. We just have the Toyota. We just have the Tacoma instead, which I'm not sure how that compares to the Hilux. But the fact that they do not sell the Hilux in the U.S. has got to be like a crime. That should be illegal that they don't sell the Hilux in the U.S.